入围奥斯卡8项大奖，备受影迷关注的新片《悲惨世界》，多亏有了以王者之声得到小金人肯定的导演汤姆霍伯，在他的坚持下，所有演员包括休·杰克曼、安海瑟薇全部都得试镜，而且一试就是3个小时。
My very first audition was with Hugh Jackman in May of last year in New York, and I got him to sing all his main songs, including the soliloquy, and it was so exciting because Hugh, when he sings, is so powerful. Like standing a few feet away from him, it kind of knocked me out. And it made me realise that the most important thing with casting this film is to choose people who are so comfortable expressing themselves through song. It's almost like they're more comfortable expressing themselves through singing than through dialogue, so that the audience would relax and enjoy this mode of communication. And the other thing that I found exciting was to realise that the act of singing can actually give an actor an access to their emotional being, which can make them act in a new or a different way from what you're used to seeing when they do dialogue. And with Hugh, I felt like I was seeing a special type of performance that came out of singing, and that was very exciting to realise I could get the chance to put that on film.
Who am I? Can I condemn this man to slavery?
更重要的是，2小时40分的片子，讲话屈指可数，这也是导演的坚持之一。
Well, I think the great challenge with musicals when you have dialogue and then a song and then more dialogue and then a song is trying to work out, well, what's the reason they suddenly break into a song. Like if I was to sing to you right now, you'd think, why is he singing then, but before we were speaking? And I felt that the strongest thing to do was to keep it singing all the way through. So you say to the audience, this is a world like ours, and just as I generate sentences and grammatical construction, in this world they generate melody and they generate rhyme, but otherwise it's the same as ours. And to commit to that idea. And I felt that if you don't change it and you don't keep switching mediums, the audience will actually relax into it quite fast and accept this way of telling a story, and that's exactly what's happening, and that's very exciting to see.
When you were shooting, did you feel the scene and cry a little bit behind the camera?
I certainly cried a little bit during the death of Jean Valjean. Hugh Jackman was so amazing in that scene, and also I think during Dream to Dream, I think I shed a tear at one point.
看到哭的不止导演，一手打造音乐剧的制作人科麦隆麦金塔，这次也担任制片。看了近30年的音乐剧，电影版的感受特别不同。
When you're working on something like, and you're looking at all the details, and what you see are the things that you haven't got right yet. But I can tell you there were 1 or 2 times in the cutting room where we'd finally finished a sequence and we'd got the balance with the music right, and I started to get the odd little moment, and in fact more often it happened on set, because I would see, because Tom, with all the solos and the small scenes, he shot them from start to finish. He didn't break the songs up. There was some extraordinary performances on the set. You knew you were seeing something very, very special come to life when the actors, because they were performing live in a cinema, which had never happened before. You were watching something, and it was so intimate, and the way it was directed. However brilliant the performances and the visuals, they don't release their power until they come from within the score, because the reason we're doing this film is because of the music. That's what makes this Les Miserables different from all the other versions. And as any film, you edit and tighten during the process. But you can't just chop 2 bars here, a chorus there from songs, because otherwise they cease to have their proper build and life. So that was a very tricky thing for Claude Michel to recompose his music as the film was tightening, and for Tom needed the score to tighten the film within the score. They couldn't be done separately, which is the opposite of how all films are made. All films are, you finish the final edit, then you add the music. But the final edit only lives within the music. That's the biggest difference.